It's game time again. Like and subscribe to stay ahead with all our content. Control of the center with then f3, preparing to develop other pieces and potentially creating a strong pawn center. This move also has the knight on f6, potentially preparing to attack ahead in the future.
This is a book move. The opening is called zugzwang opening.
Control of the center with c4, preparing to develop other pieces and potentially creating space for the bishop on c5.
Pawn to c5 is the best move.
Knight to c3.
Knight to c6.
I played pawn to g3 to prepare for the kingside expansion and to support the development of my dark squared bishop, while also eyeing the kingside and preparing to potentially play pawn to d4 in the future.
Solidifying pawn structure, preparing to develop other pieces and controlling the pawn to d5 square, which is a strategic location in the center of the board.
Bishop to g2 is the best move.
Preparing to develop the kingside, controlling the pawn to d5 square and supporting the potential d5 push, while also eyeing the pawn to f4 square for potential pawn storm.
Pawn to d4 is best. This offers a trade.
Pawn captures on d4.
Knight catches on d4 is the best move.
Bishop to d7.
Kingside castle is excellent. Pawn to b3 is best. This defends a pawn on c4.
Bishop to d7 is best. This defends a rook on height. This develops a bishop. This fianchettos the bishop by putting it on a powerful diagonal.
Knight to c2.
Queen to c8 is best. This defends a pawn on b7.
Knight to d5 is the best move.
Bishop to h3 is excellent. This offers a trade. Pawn to h5 is best.
Bishop to b2 is the best move.
Castling kingside, connecting the rooks and safeguarding the king, while also preparing to develop the queenside pieces and controlling the d-file for potential future pawn breaks.
Preparing to develop the kingside pieces and control the pawn to f5 square. Pawn to f3 also pins the knight on f6, making it harder for black to play f5.
Bishop captures on g2 is best. This is a trade.
King captures on g2.
Rook to d8 is best. By placing the rook on an open file, it controls important columns.
Pawn to e4 is best.
Pawn to e6.
Knight to e3 is best.
I played queen to b8 to attack white's pawn on pawn to e4 and prepare to develop the rest of my pieces. This move also puts pressure on white's position and creates potential weaknesses in their pawn structure.
Queen to e2 is the best move.
Pawn to a6 is best.
Rook from file to c1 is a solid move, supporting the central pawn on pawn to c4 and preparing to develop the rest of the pieces. It also slightly weakens the kingside, but this is a minor trade-off for the increased mobility and control of the center.
Queen to a7 is excellent. Pawn to b5 is best. This offers a trade.
Rook from file left to d1 is best. By placing the rook on an open file, it controls important columns.
Rook from file to c8 is excellent. This develops a rook. Knight to e8 is best.
Rook to d2 is best.
Knight to e8.
Nedon attacking the black pawn on pawn to d6 with the knight, preparing to potentially open lines for the rook and bishop on the queen side, while also putting pressure on the black position.
Pawn to h5 is the best move.
Developing the knight to a strong central square, preparing to control the pawn to d5 square and potentially putting pressure on black's position.
Pawn to h5.
Rook from file c to d1 is the best move.
Pawn to b5 is best. This offers a trade.
I played pawn captures on b5 to challenge black's control of the queenside and create a potential weakness on the b-file. This move also pins black's knight on b5, forcing him to potentially weaken his pawn structure.
I played knight to d4 to attack black's pawn on d5, creating a potential pin on black's knight on d4. This move also opens up the d-file for my rook to potentially use later.
Queen to d1.
Knight captures on b5.
Knight to e2.
I played bishop captures on b2 to gain a strong initiative on the queen side, attacking black's pawn on pawn to d4 and preparing to develop the rest of my pieces. This move also puts pressure on black's position, making it difficult for them to equalize.
Rook captures on b2 is the best move. The game is over. It ended in a draw.